thumbnail, but I got ahead of myself. Anyway, I had a good one too. Anyway, how's everybody? I'm only going to be on for a little while tonight. Just today's been hectic. As you know, Kay's not doing too well with her eye, but it's looking better now. And the vet came. I've got to put an antibiotic in her eye twice a day and atropine. And it's just, what you have to do for a few days. Her eye's actually looking better than it did, but it's, it is what it is. So we take it one day at a time with this. She's had it before. She's done this before. So anyway, talk a little bit about where we're going and what we're gonna see within the next 2 weeks. Not a word still. And it's gonna be very interesting the next 2 weeks if we hear anything. Again, next Wednesday, from what Doomcock's been told, is the hard deck. If she doesn't, if they don't get anything done and by Wednesday, I'm calling. But the 31st is the last day of this contract. Now again, she might get renewed for 6 months. That doesn't really mean anything, because it's over. Okay, it's over. All right. So that's what we have to look for. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open on Hollywood Reporter, Deadline Hollywood, and Variety and other places. Don't listen to, hey Bruce, how you doing, huh? How you doing? And hail to everybody in the chat if you're in the chat. This is just going to be the next few weeks is going to be really interesting. So keep your eyes open. Let's see what else. It looks to me like Kevin Feige has tapped out with his argument with JPEG, which is a good thing. Hey Kev, how you doing? This is going to be really interesting going forward. Okay. If he even stays around. Oh, yeah, they are. And it's not a property I'm interested in. I think Andre's actually going to have an in-depth video about it. So we'll get to hear more, which I'll watch and just go whatever. You have to understand, all this stuff, it doesn't matter how big the property is. This is the stuff that goes on in Hollywood. Okay, so you learn stuff. You learn why. Hey, Grandmaster Jim, and apparently, according to the quartering, both DC and Marvel have told their writers and other artists and things that work for them to leave the fans alone. They've taken control over the social media. And it's very interesting, but it's already happened with Lucasfilm. You don't see any arguments going on now. No attacking the fans. In fact, I had a lovely conversation with an employee of Lucasfilm just recently. I was really, really nice guy. And I always thought he was a nice guy, but it's always good to have your impressions kind of validated. So that's interesting. And I gotta say, Ghostbusters 3, Afterlife, seeing the whining and the bitching and complaining from the usual suspects. I'll tell you guys something. This is gonna be the baseball bat to the SJW heads. Okay, this is it. Because everybody else in Hollywood is gonna go, they look at the money they're making by not supporting this garbage. And you're gonna hear a lot. I mean, look, the gay Superman thing, John Kent, all that crap, and other stuff is a last ditch effort. Okay, it is a last going out in a blaze of glory. Okay, that's because they know. I mean, they're not selling anything. They're not getting people to go to their movies. I mean, looking at what they did to, uh, did to even He-Man, which I don't really care about, but the fact that they did it and it's a failure says a lot. Well, uh, Bruce, I want to say this: if you read the book, the person they hired is probably perfect because they're supposed to be, um, oh God, what do they call it? Sexually ambiguous looking when you read the book. So I don't have a problem with that. Um, uh, but I'm just, I'm so like that show. Just seeing the guy dressed up like that bothers me a lot. I don't like. First off, I don't like slasher movies. I mean, I sat through Friday the 13th, and the first time I ever got drunk in my life, and my friend and I just laughed through the whole thing. Okay, we just laughed through the whole thing, and that was one of those things where you're like, I just don't like them. They're needlessly violent. Well, I don't know if it is or it isn't. Um, you know, if I were you, I'd kind of hold my opinion in check till you listen to what Andre had to say, because he's a big fan of it, and he knows more about it than I could ever even want to care to know ever. Second, so and I know a lot of you guys are going to be piercing the veil with Cameron's on with his Sufi master, so and I'm gonna be there, and how long have I been on here now? I'm gonna be there in like 20 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really interested. So they want to hire this person. You know, what I okay, fine. I mean, I don't care. I think the person's mentally ill, but that's just me. What was what, Thomas? What was what? Anyway, what else is going on? Oh, let's see. Okay, so yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think, is going to be the movie that changes everything. No, I didn't hear that. Hey, that's weird. That's really weird. Maybe it was my husband upstairs. Did it sound far away? Did it sound far away? No, I didn't. I mean, that was, I'm wondering though, maybe there's something. Okay, yeah, it was my husband. He was probably yelling at my dog. The dog, he's a wild man, and I haven't, it sounded loud. Okay, that's weird. You guys are freaking me out. That's weird. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe it was just something on my phone. But anyway, what else is going on? Nothing. That's weird. I'm gonna have to roll this back and listen to see if I thought I heard something too, but it sounded like yeah. I dropped my phone yesterday. Hey, went in my face. So maybe there's something going on with my phone because there's some stuff wrong with it. But I mean, I don't have anybody here, so I don't know. Anyway, what else is going on? Nothing really. We got Ghostbusters 3 or Afterlife coming, and it looks like it's going to be great. You know, it's probably going to fix what was broken with that franchise. Oh, it's trust me, Bruce. All the right people hate it and it's basically they didn't want it because they thought it should have been a sequel to 2016. At least that's what they're saying to Virtue Signal. I don't know. I don't know. What else? So that's going on. Oh, and Pablo Hidalgo is trying to. Yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit. Pablo Hidalgo is trying to make it like he had never had any influence at all on anything the story group was putting together or the movies or anything else. I'm trying to figure out if he's still there, why is he distancing himself from everything? You know, yeah, let's see. They're filming in Sicily. Then they're going to move on to Morocco, and I think they're done. Or they might go back to London, but they're done. No photographs that I've seen of Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Lots and lots of Harrison. None of Antonio Banderas too, which is like, why? And that ship I thought was a Viking ship is not. It's a Roman or a Greek ship. Okay. I don't know. The MacGuffin could be Pandora's box, or it could be what was the other thing? Archimedes' death ray, which is like, why? I mean, you know, that worked well and good back in the day, but in 1969, trying to aim a bunch of mirrors at, yeah, trying to aim a bunch of mirrors at a bunch of, armored, steel plated, ships, that won't do a whole lot. I mean, might make them warm, but, so I'm like, I don't know. So it's got something to do probably with the Greco-Roman mythology. And I'm thinking it's probably a Pandora's box. I don't know why. That to me is the thing that kind of sticks out. I don't know why. It's not, with that ship and the guy dressed up in the it looks Greek uniform, armor and everything, the helmet. He's got a hoplite helmet on. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go through my Greco-Roman mythology books and just see what would spark a hunt, okay, in that kind of thing. Well, I mean, it could be Atlantis, but why? That's me. I'm like, why? You know. So we'll just have to see. I don't know. You know, what? Oh, they're putting out some new toys. Some sort of vintage collection, Mandalorian and Ahsoka Tano. Carl Weathers is busy right now directing his episode of Mando. And Gina Carano's in Montana. I think on the 11th of November we'll finally get a trailer. I'd like to see some photographs from the set, and get some ideas of who else was on the set. It doesn't look at all to me with Indy 5 going gangbusters that Kennedy was anywhere near it. thanks be to God. And it's been a real quiet set. That is a set that is shocking to me. What is unsettling to me, kind of pisses me off, is we're getting these so-called leaks about Kenobi. And it's kind of like right up there with the leaks that, and I really wish Doomy would stop posting stuff about Indy 5, because, anybody who looks at the background pictures and has been following the news is like, none of that's happening. We don't see any of that. I dare you to go find me, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, on that set. If she was that played such an important role, she'd be going back and forth to her trailer just like Harrison. Okay, you'd see her. You'd see Antonio Banderas. They're either not there or they're being hidden because they don't want the fans talking. Okay, now about Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I don't personally like her. She comes off like a snotty British schoolgirl. Yeah, they didn't, did they? They might go back and do it though. We don't know. She really does, and I don't think I would personally get along with her. When she did Fleabag, I mean, I think one of the first things she did was, I think her boyfriend didn't want to do it with her, so she beats off to Barack Obama. Ew! I mean, really? I mean, I've seen, hey Bezos, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I don't honestly understand lefty women. I really don't. I don't at all. When I was a kid and when I was back in college and my sisters were drooling all over Bill Clinton, I'm like, he's fat and he eats junk food and he's gross. And it's like, I don't get it. I mean, it's the same thing with like this Johnny Depp obsession some women have. It's like he's skinny, he looks like he smells, and he's a pothead. Don't get it. I didn't even really get no, I didn't. You guys haven't heard anything since because I haven't. I know I heard something. Hey, Clobbering Times. I know I heard something when I was getting up to get my Kleenex. And like I always do, because my nose, wants me to remember that it's there and it wants to share. And it's like, what? It sounded like a radio to me, almost. Now you gotta remember, I did drop my phone yesterday and crack the back of it. I think we're gonna be about due for a whole new system here pretty soon. I also, there's been kind of a weird night anyway. I don't really like driving around at night to begin with. And I have to go visit Kay twice a day to put her medicine in her eye. She's getting an antibiotic, an atropine. And the atropine, you only put it in twice a day, and I'm only going to do it tomorrow, and then the next day, and then once in the morning. Okay. And we'll just see where she goes. But it looks like her eye's feeling better. And the atropine's kind of yeah, I'm going to. I did have someone hack into this, by the way. She should be fine. She's, her eye looked better. She was out in the field, so I had to fumble my way in the dark and bring a flashlight like a dipshit. I found her, got her, brought her in, took care of her eye, put the fly mask back over, and then there you go. She's has an abrasion on her cornea, and she had an accident that took off part of her eyelid years before I owned her. And she's got permanent tears coming down out of her left eye. And we tried to open up her tear ducts, and it was like they were fused shut. And it was, she was like, okay, I'm done. Leave me alone. When we tried that, and it's like, okay, we won't do that anymore. Because the doc, what he does is he flushes it. And, she usually does cooperate. But we had, let's see, taken pictures of her hocks, her rear legs, because she's got arthritis. We took, she got a blood sample taken, she got her shots, and she got checked out for back pain. And then we thought, let's see if we can do this, everything all at once. And by the time we were done, because I'd taken out and lunged her to so the vet could see how she was moving before we checked out her before we did the examination of her back legs. And she was like, I'm not having this anymore, leave me the fuck alone. And we're like, okay, you're done, because she was gonna start throwing down. So always tell when she starts getting upset, because her ears start going back and forth, her tail starts swishing, and she starts tossing her head. It's like, okay, fine, you're done. Okay, you can go back. Anyway, she scratched her cornea. It's not the first time she's done it. She's done it before. And I think probably on hay. If you give her a great big huge, like half a bale of hay, she'll stick her head right into it. So it's, oh no, I don't want to give a cat a pill. So I've got her stuff, and she's been real good, and we'll see, by Monday she should be better. But it's going back and forth, and I don't like driving around in the country at night anyway. I don't know why, I never have. And of course I didn't go armed this time, which was stupid. And this is a pretty safe place, but still, you never know what you're gonna run into. You could run into a bunch of coyotes. And trust me, I would have no problem going to town on a coyote. They eat dogs. You eat a dog, you're on my shit list. Okay. So anyway, but yeah, so what else? About Kennedy, if we don't hear anything by next Wednesday, a week from today, I'm gonna be looking at people going, about the rumors that Doomcock has been hearing. There's no evidence based on the photographs of any of that going on. James Mangold denies anything of it. And I'm sure he's getting sick and tired of it, but I also am probably pretty sure that he knows why. Kathleen Kennedy. Well, he could take, if he was a fighter, Kojak has no instincts to go to war. Okay, he doesn't. He's aggressively affectionate. He looks like a big badass, but he just loves everybody. I mean, he'll put his ears down and put his head down and wag his tail and charge. So I'm, I have a feeling that whoever fed that last rumor to Doomcock is probably not legit. And they're doing it for a reason. James Mangold would have no reason to do any of that. He's the one that wrote the script with his buddy, his writing partner. He has denied Phoebe Waller-Bridges getting the whip and the hat. When I look at what they're talking about, it's just so far-fetched and stupid. I can't imagine him doing that. I mean, for a director to get a director like him, I'm not talking about J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams has no sense of decency at all. For a director like James Mangold to have a chance to get to direct and write an Indiana Jones movie. Oh yeah, I do too. I mean, you know, is an honor. And that rumor is absolutely the opposite. And Mangold comes off like a really great guy. Now, he's been accused of punching down, but I accuse the person of posting that tweet, of being a troll. Okay? He is a troll. He's an attention grabbing troll who did not make it in Hollywood, so he's got to get everybody's attention. Okay? He shows up on this thing and that thing, and everybody, slaps him on the back. The great Mangold Slayer. Well, fuck that shit. It's not like, I don't know, he earned a bronze star or a silver star. That's not brave, going on Twitter and trolling for attention. That's bullshit, okay? That's bullshit. And and I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm gonna call you out. That's not brave. I mean, he's really not. I mean, the guy that did it is not brave. And I really honestly think that within the fandom, there are people that don't want this movie to succeed for whatever reason, and they want to hurt channels like Doomcocks. They're jealous. Fine. I mean, I don't get why, but they are. And they kind of tend to circulate around the fanboy rage porn channels. It's fine, I don't care. But, I've had my run-ins. And may as well tell you about that run-in. And it was ugly. It was ugly. And, when you're told your opinion doesn't matter, and the other person is getting all the time in the world to talk, and the person that actually is part of this, that really did have legit and does have legit connections, is not saying anything they accused him of, that is bullshit. Okay, and I've said this before, I'll say this again. I am a good Catholic girl, but one of the crutches I have to carry is the fact that I will not forgive anyone for doing that to a friend of mine and trying to shut me up. Okay? And the person I'm talking about is part of that and has been part of the trying to shut people up for a long time. Okay? It just is what it is. Anyway, and it's disgusting. But anyway, what else is going on? We just got to see about Kennedy. Ghostbusters 3 Afterlife is going to looks like it's going to kick ass. Finally got my Aura Sing and my Lando from Return of the Jedi. So they're up in the thing, and I'll show them when I can. I'm waiting. Hasbro has their 6-inch Ghostbusters stuff out now, and I ordered a Pete Venkman. He's gonna be here soon, and I gotta get the other 3, and I do believe there's a Dana Barrett and a Gozer that's coming out too. I'm not sure, but this is an older Venkman. Okay, this is the older from this movie. So this is going to be great. I mean, we're just going to have. This is going to be fun. I mean, Ghostbusters has always been like my second favorite franchise, and those guys that put that together I knew them since 1976. That's how far back I go with Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and all them, and actually Harold Ramis. So this is a really kind of a big deal for a lot of us. They really, and those guys really were funny. It was when Saturday Night Live was the greatest. I mean, we couldn't wait. We could not wait for Saturday Night Live. One of the funniest things ever is John Belushi doing a cold opening where it's like a setup, and he's like sitting in a kitchen talking, and you start listening to him, and it's like you can't stop laughing. You can't stop laughing. It is that funny. So anyway, this is gonna be great, and you know, Kevin Feige. I'm gonna, but apparently, Feige's pretty much said no mas. You know, so we'll have to see. It looks like Chapek is fully now going to be able to implement what he has to fix what's broken at Disney. And the people who are parks people, there are battles that you stand and fight, and there are battles that you don't waste ammo on. And some of the things that you're bitching about are battles I wouldn't waste time on at this time. Okay? All right? It just doesn't matter. It's kind of like a book coming out or a comic book's coming out by Lucasfilm that have been years in the works, and everybody freaking out about it. It's like they have to come out. They're not going to hold these back. Anyway, so Piercing the Veil on the Harvey Zone is on tonight. So if you guys want to stop over there and say hi to Cameron and everybody, I'm not sure how long I'm gonna stay. I think it would be really cool for Doomcock to get like an exorcist, or a real Catholic priest on there to talk about that stuff. I've read a lot about that from their perspective. And like, if you ever want to look up somebody who's fascinating, Father Gabriel Amorth, who had been the Vatican's chief exorcist for decades and decades. He died like at the age of 95, 100 maybe. And when he talked about this stuff, it made you realize that it's real. No kidding, real. And there's experience there because that's what they do. That's what they do. Anyway, so just, keep your eyes on the prize. We got till the 20th, and then after that, I'm gonna say, and then 31st, if we don't hear anything, I'm gonna say, hey, where's the beef? Anyway, Steph, I'll see you guys around the galaxy.